Hi, welcome to Through the Gates. I would like to thank you for coming and watching this video. So, what is Through the Gates and why am I here talking to you today? Back in January 19th of 2011, God the Father gave our family an assignment to do. And this is part of the assignment, kind of the fruition of the work that we've been doing for 4.5 years. Every evening, we were receiving notes from heaven. Various different people, Blessed Mother, Jesus, God the Father, would come and talk to us, and we would take the notes. And these are the notes. And so we wanted to share them with you during this time. I've had a lot of people ask me, did the messages for 4.5 years impact my life? And the obvious answer is, of course they did. They impacted every part of my life. And I've been asked if I could summarize 4.5 years of messages, what would that summary look like? And I would say it's a true love story. You know, we always hear God loves us, and we go through such hardships. And I want to tell you, first of all, that this journey, when it began, my brother told me, we are going to suffer more than our family has ever suffered. And those words were so true. Frank received a lot of messages, not necessarily in regard to the way I received them, but he received it more about what the whole mission was going to be about. And he knew that we would suffer. So I want you first to understand that while this has been the most amazing journey of my and my family's life, and it's been incredible, you know, we also have had our share of suffering. When the journey began, shortly after my daughter was diagnosed with cancer yet again, she had tongue cancer. She had it twice, and she almost died. And amazingly, she is completely cured now. She never smoked. She had no reason to have it. And so she is 100% cancer-free today, and she just had our first grandchild. So I am so excited about that. I have a beautiful grandbaby little girl. My mom died last year in February. She died on Divine Mercy Sunday. My father died this year on February 1st. So it's been a tough year. I lost my mother-in-law on Father's Day this year also. So we, as a family, to lose our parents basically in a 12-month period of time has really been hard. So we've had a lot of suffering. You know, we were a really blessed family, and we've always had a strong faith. And that strong faith came from my mom and my dad. A little bit about myself. I am the mother of 8 kids and grandmother of 1 and 1 on the way. So I will have 2 grandbabies as of Christmas. So that's a little bit of my background. I've been married for 31 years. I have an amazing husband, and I'm just a really blessed person. My mother started my journey in life before I was even born. When I was conceived and she found out I was pregnant, she was pregnant with me. She had already lost my brother and my sister ahead of me. And so she was really concerned about the pregnancy. And so she went to these nuns at Little Company of Mary in Evergreen Park, Illinois, kind of like Chicago suburb. And she asked them, you know, what can I do? I don't want to lose this baby too. And so they had me, when I was born, they had me dedicated to the Blessed Mother. And for the first 7 years of my life, I wore only blue and white. Those were the only colors I could wear. So my mother sacrificed a lot, not only in having me, because it was a hard pregnancy, but also in having to dress your firstborn daughter. There was only 2 sisters because my other sister had died before I was born. So my mom only had 2 living daughters and then 3 living sons. And you know how any mom out there who has a little girl, it's all about pink and it's all about, you know, flowery and, you know, all that good stuff. And I was blue and white. Those were my colors. And my mother never once varied off. And as a matter of fact, when I started in the Catholic school, the color of the uniforms were blue and white, which was really convenient. However, the year I was going in, they changed it to brown. And my mom was so panicked over me possibly not being able to wear blue and white. And she prayed and prayed. And wouldn't you know that she got a letter that said, if you have a child who has a blue uniform, they may continue to wear it. So problem alleviated. So that was awesome. But so that's kind of how my journey began. And as far as how the messages started, it really started with my brother Frank. He started having this calling from the Lord that he wanted me to take these notes. And so Frank kept calling me and asking me to write down dreams I had, and because I've had a lot of prophetic dreams. And he's like, write them down. Have you written them down? And he was really kind of bugging me. And so finally, January 19th, it was the Golden Globes, of which, by the way, I was watching. So just so you know, I am not like this perfect Catholic Christian girl. I am somebody who watched the Golden Globes and thoroughly enjoyed them. But I was watching the Golden Globes, and afterwards I was like, oh, I've got to start writing down these prayers. And so that's where it all began. And so when I started writing it down, and if you don't mind, I'm in my 50s now, so I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I wrote. Back on that day, this is what I wrote. And I want to read it to you. And this is the very first time God the Father ever spoke to me. And so this is what was said. And I wrote, there are no adequate words to express the Lord's love for his people. How can anyone express his mercy for his children? We need to learn confidence. We need to learn how to trust in his sacrifice for us. Heaven is waiting for the return of her children. All the angels are singing the praises to God, interceding for us. Why do we wait? We keep thinking we have tomorrow. And what if there is no tomorrow, only today? And I want you to know when I wrote that, I was actually thinking about the fact that I have been postponing this for so long. So I go, how can we prepare ourselves when we haven't even started a dialogue with the Father yet? What are we waiting for? He loves us. He waits for us. He is there. Why can't we see that? Why have we removed ourselves from his presence? Time is of the essence. Tomorrow may not be here like you think. And little did I know that 4 years later, I would be losing my parents. So this really was more than I would have known at that time. And so we go on, and this is when God starts to talk back. And I wrote, this is how you began. And then God says, say hello. I am here. Say hello. It just started like that. All of a sudden I heard this voice, say hello. I am here. Say hello. Tell me your troubles. I am listening. Tell me your concerns. I am here. I never stop caring for my children. Your fears are important to me. You are the ones who have stopped listening to my call. Trust that I want you in my kingdom. I would not have prepared a place for you if I did not intend on giving it to you. You know, and I want to stop again, and I'm going to kind of do that throughout this message because I really want to talk about what those words mean. We're always about how do we get into heaven? What kind of great deeds can I do? And I'm always measuring myself. I don't know if you guys are doing the same thing, but I'm constantly measuring myself. And in this message, he says, I want you. I want you in my kingdom. I would not have prepared a place for you if I did not intend on giving it to you. That's huge. You see, you can't buy your way into heaven. You can't be good enough to get into heaven. It's a gift. Now, with any gift, you can accept it gratefully and be grateful for it and relish and enjoy it. Or you can stick it up on a shelf somewhere and have it for later. Or you can ignore the gift. Or you can throw the gift in the garbage can and not ever deal with it. You can lose it. But you can't earn it because it was free. It was a gift. So heaven, our eternity, our salvation was a gift from God. Why? Because he just said it right here. I want you in my kingdom. So we are wanted by God. We are wanted. I would not have prepared a place for you if I did not intend on giving it to you. So what's the problem? Well, he goes on to tell us. You keep walking away, wasting time with anything that floats by, useless things that grab a hold of your attention, your heart. How can I love you so much, and yet you remain so far from my voice? And isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? You know, if you were to sit right now and think, what have you surrounded yourself with? What is in your home? What is in your car? What is in your wallet? What is in your bank accounts? What is in your life? What do you consume your time with? Isn't that where your heart really is? And what's God asking for? He's not asking for our things. He doesn't want all of our stuff. He just wants our hearts. And so we keep wasting all this time that we've been given to love God, and we keep using it for other things. We need to stop and kind of think about that. So then he goes on and says, listen. This is the point we gotta really listen. Remove all obstacles from your heart and quiet yourself. Listen. You are mine. You belong to me. I am your Father. I created you. You are my sons and daughters. Look to my Son for evidence of my love. Is that not proof enough? Right there. He didn't say we're his servants. He didn't say we're his things that he made. We are his sons and his daughters. We belong to him. You don't belong to this world. You belong to God. You're his children. We're princesses and princes. Did you think about that? Our Father is the King, so that makes us princesses and princes. So how are we living that life? How are we living? They always talk about on these radio shows and TV shows, living your authentic self. What is our authentic self? Our authentic self is that we belong to Jesus. He is the King, and we are the sons and daughters of the King. That's the authentic self. That's what we have to live our life. So he says, trust in my voice. I am calling you. Return to me. Leave behind the ways of men and return to the ways of your Father. I have prepared a place for you. Here it is again. He has prepared a place for us. We are not homeless children walking the streets, folks. We have a place. It's been prepared. My Son ensured that with his sacrifice on the cross. My Son ensured that. He ensured it. It's there. No question. No one has such love. He paid your price. How can you turn away from such sacrifice? How many times must I call you back to me? When will you finally listen? Okay? When are we going to listen? When are we going to finally get it as brothers and sisters that not only are we wanted, and God said it right there, I want you in my kingdom. I wouldn't say that if I hadn't meant it. I prepared a place for you. I've insured it by my Son's sacrifice. It's been insured. No greater love than the sacrifice of laying down oneself. I mean, Jesus insured this for us, for all eternity. It's a gift. All you have to do is say yes. Thank you, God. Yes, I accept your gift. I accept it. So he goes back and says, I am patient and I will wait for you. So not only is God asking us to clear out our hearts, not only is he telling us we're wanted by him, we're his sons and daughters, but he's also saying to us, I am patient and I will wait for you. That's love, folks. That's real love. When God the Father, who knows how flawed we are, says, I will wait for you. He's willing to wait for us. He's willing. And he says, that is how important you are to me. Do not be afraid of today. Give me everything and I will give you peace. Give me your troubles. I understand. You are never alone. I have ensured that by giving you an angel for all of our life. You're never alone all of your life, he says. You're never alone. We are at your side, watching. I just want to say, with the onset of everything that's happening right now in the world, and it's pretty crazy out there, guys. We've got solar eclipses coming. We've got stars in the skies that resemble Revelation 12. We've got North Korea, who is talking about, nuking us. It's just crazy. There's a lot of crazy going on in the world. And here we have a Father who's saying, don't worry. Just give me your hearts. We're with you. We're by your side. We're wanted. And we're his sons and daughters. So I'm going to close this video for right now. And I'm going to be continuing to meet with you every single day. And we're going to get through these 4.5 years of messages. And I'd like to invite you to please look at the website below. It's at the bottom of the screen. It's www.ThruTheGates.com. It's a website where you can actually locate the messages. And we have them in various orders. We've got like the whole books on there that you can click on the entire book and look at it. We've got them, by the day. Today's message in its entirety will be up later this afternoon. So I ask you to journey with me through the gates of God's heart, through the gates of heaven. So I bid you God's blessing, and I'm going to I have to look down because this is my first time doing this. And I want to thank my son Philip, Rekia, and his wife Bree for doing this amazing backdrop. They did a great job. So I thank them for that. Have a great day.